Time now for Burden of Proof, where we dive into the big legal cases. And tomorrow, Karen Read's retrial will enter day 5 after the jury visited the site where John O'Keefe's body was found. That happened on Friday. Read is accused of hitting her Boston police officer boyfriend with her SUV outside a house party, then leaving him to die in the snow. This was back in 2020. Read has pleaded not guilty, and her team argues someone else killed O'Keefe, and that Read is the victim of a law enforcement cover-up. For more, I want to bring in ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, thanks for joining us. Let's talk about it. What are both sides hoping that the jury gets from this visit?
Just to give some context as to this jury visit, what happened is the jury literally just goes to the scene and no one says anything. No one argues anything. The defense, the prosecution, the judge are silent. And it's just an opportunity for them to look and see. In many ways, it's like if you were going to silently go look at an apartment or a home you wanted to buy, or maybe something a little closer for you, Phil, going to a college visit with your children to just see what's going on at that school. But here, both sides are going to make the arguments that, one, the defense could argue, look, this is close to the home. If Karen Read had hit John O'Keefe, then people inside would have known about it. And because they didn't say anything, well, they must be part of it. And for the prosecution, they'll make arguments like, hey, there was a bunch of snow here. We know it's not here now, but of course, Karen Read knew where the body was because she's the one who hit it. And that's why everyone else who drove by didn't see the body. So different arguments, and people understanding the landscape of the place helps them to view what would have happened at that time and place.
So what are the next steps in this case then?
So the next steps, we're going to continue to see law enforcement testify in this case, talking about the investigation. I know a big one that I'm looking for, and as well as others, are now former Detective Michael Proctor. He was the detective that led this case, and because of this case and some of his improprieties, he actually was terminated from the police department. So seeing how law enforcement testifies this will be interesting.
And this case gained, as you know, a lot of attention after docuseries covered her last trial, her first trial. What are you watching for this time around?
I mean, Phil, it's funny that you mentioned the docu-series. What I'm looking for is the differences between the first trial that ended in a mistrial and this trial, how the prosecution is going to try to flip this case to a guilty verdict, and what new tactics the defense may raise. We know with the prosecution, a lot of what they're pointing to are some of those docu-series, some of those interviews that Karen Read had given from last year after that mistrial till now, trying to show inconsistencies in her statements, as well as, I think to some extent, maybe even goading her to maybe having to take the stand and clear up what she might have said at this interview or that one.
A lot of interest in this case from Canton, Massachusetts. All right, Brian Buckmeyer, good to see you. Thank you.